Okay, so I'm going to show you how to create Emma's legs. So what you can see here I have to start out with are the back of her foot and the back of her sock and the top of her leg. So to start, what we're going to do is take the back of her foot and place it right sides together with the back of her sock. And I'm going to just flip it over here. I'm going to start in the center and place a pin perpendicular to the edge of the fabric. That's not very straight, so let's make that a little straighter. Okay, and then we're going to go up to the edge here and we'll put one pin up there as well. I like to do the center and the sides to start out with, and you can see from the back in just a second. I'll show you how that looks. Oops, hold on one second, didn't quite catch it. Okay, and then we'll do the other side. And then we can kind of ease in the middle to align the curves, and that makes, I find that makes pinning go a little bit easier. So we can kind of make these two edges line up pretty nicely. It's a little bit fiddly, so take your time. You want to use lots of pins. This is a small area you're sewing, and so you got to use lots of pins to hold things together. The more pins, the better. That's what I always say. And if you don't quite like the way something looks, take it out and pin it again so you have a really nice curve. Okay, so that's pinned together there. All right, and then you can also, while you're here pinning right sides together, take her leg and just pin straight across here. So, and then you can stitch, and when that's finished, it looks like this. Here's the front, here's the back. You can see I stitched along that curve and clipped it so it'll lie flat, and then stitched along here. And this is the back of Emma's leg. So to do the front of her leg, we have a couple extra parts. This works the same way. The top of the leg goes right sides together to the sock, and we just stitch across. So that's pretty straightforward. Down here at the bottom of the sock where it meets the top of her foot, we have to put these two pieces right sides together. And again, we're doing some pinning along this curve because we want to make sure that it's accurate when we go to sew. And you can put in quite a few pins here, maybe 8, maybe 10. I mean, go crazy with the pins. You really want to pin all the way along there. And that's going to make her foot stick out at a right angle to her leg, which is the coolest effect, I think. And then we have her shoes. She's got these little Mary Janes. And this works the same way as the way that we attached her back foot, where we have to start in the center, kind of bring it over to the side. This is the way that I like to do it because I know that I won't pin away and then end up with misaligned curves and have to stop pinning and take everything out and start again. So if you start in the center, you do each side, and you kind of fill in the middle. It makes the easing more accurate, and there's less guesswork, and I like that. Okay, so you can put in lots of pins. You don't want this misalignment there, so you just really want to take your time, and it pays off in the end to prepare the fabric with the pins as well as possible. Okay, so then you'll have her little Mary Jane, and then for her strap, you want to have it right side of the fleece up, and you're just going to lay it across here, and you'll baste right across here. Okay, so when that's completed, it will look like this. You have the top of her leg, her sock, and then you have attached to the top of her foot, you can see the curve, how I've sewn it here, and you've got the basted strap and her little Mary Jane toe. So we now have the front of her leg, we have the back of her leg all sewn up and ready to go. So we will place these right sides together. And it's important to take your time to line up these seams here, okay? Because you want it really to appear as though she's got a sock and a leg, and so you want to take your time to make sure those seams are perfectly lined up. You can place a pin on this side as well. And down here, you just got to kind of stretch things out a little bit. And again, where this seam is here and this seam is here, you want those perfectly lined up. And there's lots of layers of fleece here, so you got to watch what you're doing and take your time and then push this pin right in there. And keep on going. You're going to line it all up. Of course, you're going to put in a lot more pins than I'm putting in now. Just takes a lot of pins to make sure that everything is accurate. You're going to line it all up. And then you're going to just stitch down one side of her leg